It's the holiday season, the season of giving and of community. So what better subject to talk about than Scooby-Doo? I love Scooby-Doo. I mean, it's terrible, but I love it. I've seen every single Scooby-Doo movie they've ever made, and it's great because you never know what you're gonna get. It's a Russian roulette of quality. Some of these films are trash, some of them are amazing, but it's never the ones you'd expect. A good rule of thumb, the stupider the title, the better the movie. Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Good title, alliterative title, snappy title, terrible film. Scooby-Doo, Legend of the Phantasaur. Sounds terrible, sounds like they phoned it in. Amazing movie containing bikers, dinosaurs, bikers punching dinosaurs, and Shaggy beating up said bikers single-handedly in a bar fight. Now, I could do the usual 10 words or less format thing, but like, they're all Scooby-Doo, you know? That's no fun. It's all just gonna be the same thing. Some dude scares people in a dumb plot to get a thing.
And if it wasn't for you meddling kids,
you would have got blah, blah, bloopity.
But that dumb plot, it's always different. It's always terrible. It's always increasingly terrible. So I'm going to do my best to explain to you every single Scooby-Doo movie villain plan as best I can, because they get ridiculous. Oh, and I guess I should say, spoiler warning, obviously, a Scooby-Doo spoiler warning, if anyone cares. Also, all the ratings will be over here, same as always. Okay, here we go. A guy dresses up as a Skeleton to get some diamonds. Swamp Witch kidnaps the children of world-famous monsters so she can be a world-famous monster. Dracula, like actual Dracula, holds a monster race every year, but the werewolf dropped out, so he turns world-famous funny car racer Shaggy Rogers into a werewolf. So Scooby, Scrappy, and Shaggy's girlfriend Googie need to save him. Voodoo furries murder people every harvest moon to keep their immortality. Tim Curry recruits Mystery Incorporated to help him find a witch book so he can become a warlock. Some scientists find a gold mine and disguise themselves as aliens to keep people away with an inconspicuous helicopter. A scientist who likes baseball programs a baseball virus to sabotage his own prize-winning laser that can shoot people into the digital world because his professor liked another student's video game more than his. This does not benefit him in any way. Scrappy-Doo is kicked out of the gang and starts a cult while piloting Robot Mr. Bean so he can kill them all. A band loses a small-scale rock competition and decides the best way to improve their music career is by faking their own deaths, entering the contest again, and paying the other applicants to leave so they win by default. An amusement park magnate tries to scare locals away so he can buy their land. A criminal the gang put away years ago uses actual magic to summon the monsters they've captured in order to discredit them. Professor tries to prove the credibility of her Loch Ness monster studies by making a fake Loch Ness monster. Hawaiian surfing legend pretends he's mad about cultural appropriation, but really he just wants to buy real estate or something. Velma and the Prince of Egypt discover a hidden tomb in the Sphinx while on an excavation. To scare away grave robbers, they pretend to be an army of the undead that guards it. Also, some other guy is leading a secret city inside the Sphinx by stealing the NILE River, and the only explanation they give for that is, quote, he is a civil engineer. Okay. So, a hypnotist named Mr. Mysterio wants a meteor made of gold at the bottom of the Bermuda Triangle. To get it, he needs to steal an oil painting of the night the meteor crashed down, which he hopes is accurate enough to be used as a star map, so he needs to steal the painting and kidnap an astrocartographer. To obtain these things, he convinces an eccentric billionaire that the billionaire is the reincarnation of a pirate named Skunkbeard, and that he needs to form a pirate crew. So, Mr. Mysterio hypnotizes an entire cruise ship of people except Shaggy and Scooby, who are immune to hypnosis for no reason, and has them act as Skunkbeard's pirate crew. Never at any point does it occur to Mr. Mysterio just to hypnotize the astrocartographer so he wants to help him, even after he's been kidnapped. How does Mr. Mysterio know about this meteor that crashed into the ocean 300 years ago? I don't know. How does he know it's made of gold? I don't know. Why haven't the ocean currents moved or buried the meteor in 300 years? I don't know. The local girl has the hots for an abominable snowman enthusiast, so she pretends to be the monster so he sticks around. Wayne Knight is a magician who really wants to be magic, so he drinks fairy juice and tries to fight the Goblin King, Lord of Evil Magic from the real-ass magic world that can only be reached via skeleton train. Azula wants to summon the spirit of a dead samurai to bring the world back to a pre-technological state. She does this using robot ninjas. A stamp collector really wants an old stamp and tries to murder some children for it. Beleaguered magician's brother makes robots so he can be a magician too. The spirit of an old witch turns Velma into a frog, because why not? A child at a summer camp is secretly a middle-aged fat mobster trying to blow up a dam to get to his old gang's loot, which is hidden in a town at the bottom of a lake. Some miners want to get silver in a mine. Some archaeologists find a dinosaur in the mine and want to keep it for themselves. Both parties, completely independent of each other, decide to build giant robot dinosaurs and attack the town. A vampire novelist wants to recreate a cult ritual as a publicity stunt so people will buy his books. This movie is a musical for some reason. Two carnies train baboons to steal the box office money from the circus, along with the circus jewels. A roboticist who is signing autographs at a convention tries to steal the convention ticket funds by attacking the entire city with giant robots, all to frame senile Batman. This sounds awesome, but is actually terrible. Everyone dresses up as the Phantom of the Opera to ruin America's Got Talent for different reasons. An ex-WWE star is angry that his career was ended early due to an injury, so he dresses up like a ghost bear to steal the title belt. Villains that the gang caught in the past get out of jail and buy a castle, with the explicit purpose of luring the gang inside of it and blowing it up. An astronaut is infuriated at the idea that commercial spaceflight will allow untrained people into space, so she attempts to blow up a multi-billion-dollar base on the moon and kill literally the entire cast. Okay, stay with me on this one. An interdimensional space witch wants to resurrect a world eater that lives in a space volcano. To do this, she must steal a black diamond guarded by the band Kiss, who are in actuality interdimensional super beings with actual superpowers and a magical girl transformation sequence. Stephanie McMahon and Triple H pretend to be a speed racer villain in order to show the CEO of WWE that something responsibility? Some dudes pretend to be Shaggy's evil cowboy ancestor in order to build a theme park. Wow, that sure was Scooby-Doo, but which Scoobs are the best Scoobs? Do you care? I care, because I am a Scooby-Doo scholar, and dare I say it, there are actually some genuinely great Scooby-Doo movies, so I'm gonna tell you the 3 best Scooby-Doos and the 3 worst Scooby-Don'ts. Scooby-Doo, Legend of the Phantasaur. When Shaggy gets a fear disease from being scared too many times, he and the gang visit a spa owned by Daphne's uncle, where he is hypnotized into becoming Brave Shaggy. Brave Shaggy then defeats an entire bar of bikers single-handedly and challenges their leader to a motorcycle race. This is a movie with a lot of excellent high points and great one-off jokes, but maybe a little too much mediocrity in between. Though it does have what may be the best line not only in a Scooby-Doo movie, but in all of cinema history.
If there's one thing I can't stand, it's ghost dinosaurs. Come on!
Third worst is a tricky slot to fill in this list because so many of these are bad, but they're all bad in different ways. Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King is embarrassing bad because it feels like a Dungeons & Dragons adventure that the writer made and nobody wanted to play with him. And he even wrote lots of hilarious joke characters and songs. Aww. Whenever people hear that there are not 1, but 2 Scooby-Doo WWE crossover movies, they get excited, and it's understandable. Certainly those must be weird and funny, right? Well, no, they suck. But Scooby-Doo and Kiss, rock and roll mystery? Oh, now that is an adventure. The gang investigates a mystery at a Kiss theme park, because of course they do, where they are menaced by their mystery-solving rivals, Kiss, who in actuality are interdimensional space gods with real-ass superpowers. And just look at this.
Kiss costume change, activate!
Akuma! The two-school sheep! Yakamara!
This movie is an acid trip, but be sure to hop off just before the last 10 minutes, cause I won't tell you how, but those ruin the entire thing. So just leave it to your imagination. Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf. By far the worst red shirt Shaggy movie. I mean, Ghoul School is no winner either, but this one, oof. So Dracula wants to hold a Wacky Races knockoff, and for some reason he needs Shaggy to compete. The entire movie is 1 hour and 30 minutes, which is the longest Scooby-Doo movie runtime, by the way, of his 2 incompetent minions, the Hunch Bunch, failing to hinder Shaggy in various ways. That's it. That's the movie. I could talk about the animation errors, or how this is what someone at the studio thought a spiderweb looked like, or this.
Meet GK! Genghis Khan! Take 1!
But I don't want to. Please don't watch this movie, because if you do, you're gonna be Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant audience member. Ha! Got him! Is that good? Am I fired? Scooby-Doo. Now, I know what you're thinking. What if Scooby-Doo was on the moon, but also it was BioShock and the villain was Alien? Well, my friend, look no further, for Scooby-Doo Moon Monster Madness has all that you seek, featuring the best supporting cast of any Scooby-Doo movie, as well as the best atmosphere and contender for best soundtrack. The production staff worked way too hard on this movie, and even outside of the Scooby-Doo grading bell curve, this is actually a pretty solid film. The only real negative is that Velma is such an ice queen to Daphne for no reason the entire film, but I can overlook that in favor of moments like this.
But how? Why?
Who? Oh, right, it's Shannon.
Scooby-Doo, Mask of the Blue Falcon.
Hey, do you guys remember the Blue Falcon and Dynamite? Hanna-Barbera's most popular show? No? How about we do a movie about the Blue Falcon remake? And it's so boring that when Jello and his friends were watching the movie together, none of them had anything to say, and they all wanted to die.
Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, you should check out my other marathon reviews I did for Disney and DreamWorks, and be sure to leave a comment below to let me know what marathon review you would like to see in the future. Or if for some reason you'd like to know more about me, the very interesting man who just watched every single Scooby-Doo movie, the fine people over on the Foot of a Ferret channel just did an episode of A Brief History on my channel, which was super nice of them, so be sure to check out all their stuff. Also, if you'd like to see more videos like this one, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Patrons get to vote on what So This Is Basically video we make next, and they get access to outtakes and other back-end stuff for videos like this one. Thanks!